Welcome students. So in this session we are going to study the introduction of advanced processor. So in last session we were studied the bus allocation scheme for multiprocessor. So this session is the end of the second unit. So here we are going to see the intro of what are the processors present after 8086 microprocessor. Actually here the advanced microprocessor means we are looking the advanced microprocessor from 8086 microprocessor, not from current situation. Let us enter into video.
U.com.
So the first one is 80188 or 80186. So this microprocessor is released in 1982. So it is also 16-bit microprocessor. So this microprocessor speed is 6 megahertz. Then here the two processors released at 1982. One is 80186 and 80188. So 80188 is low cost processor when compared to 80186. But the 80188 that has a 8-bit external data bus to access the data from memory. And second one is 80286. 80286 is an improved version of 186. So it is released in 1982. So it is also 16-bit microprocessor. The speed of the microprocessor is 8 MHz. So the data bus is a 16-bit and address bus is 24-bit. But in 8086 microprocessor, the address bus is 20-bit But in 80286, the address bus is 24-bit. So by using the 24-bit length, it can address 16 MB of memory. Then another important point is here this inherited circuit has 1,34,000 transistors inside. Next we are going to see 32-bit microprocessor. So 80186 and 80286, these two microprocessors are improved versions or update of 8086 microprocessor in 16-bit category. Next we are going to see 32-bit microprocessors. So in 32-bit microprocessor, the first one is 80386. So it is a 32-bit microprocessor. 32-bit microprocessor means it has 32-bit data bus and it also has 32-bit address bus. So by using a 32-bit address bus, it can address 4 GB of memory. So this inherited circuit consists of 2,75,000 transistors inside. The speed of the operations is varying from 16 MHz to 33 MHz depending upon the different versions present in 386. And the next one is 486. So this 486 was released in 1989. So it is also 32-bit microprocessor. So the address bus is also 32-bit. So it has 1.2 million transistors inside. The speed of the operation is 16 MHz to 100 MHz. The speed depends on different versions present in 486. So the first microprocessor that is manufactured along with cache memory is 486. The 486 microprocessor having cache memory inside. What is the use of cache memory? Cache memory that is used to increase the speed of operation, that increases speed of data transfer between the processor and memory. Next one is a Pentium microprocessors. So Pentium processor it was released in 1993. So it is also 32-bit microprocessor. So the original name of the Pentium is 586, 80586. The clock speed is 66 MHz. So the data bus is 32-bit and address bus is also 32-bit. That is a Pentium microprocessor. Next microprocessor is a Pentium Pro. So Pentium Pro was released in 1995. So this microprocessor is also 32-bit microprocessor. It has 21 million transistors inside. So it has two cache memory, one cache memory for instruction and another one cache memory for data. So separate cache memory can increase the speed of operation. So this microprocessor can execute 21 more instructions, millions of instructions per second. And next one is a Pentium 2 microprocessor. So it was released in 1997. It is also 32-bit microprocessors. So it can execute 333 million instructions per second. The speed of the microprocessor is 233 MHz to 500 MHz. Next one is Pentium 2 Xeon. So this microprocessor is released on 1998. It's also 32-bit microprocessor. This microprocessor is mainly designed for server applications. So the speed of the operation is 400 MHz to 450 MHz. And next one is a Pentium 3 microprocessor. So this microprocessor was released in 1999. So it is also 32-bit microprocessor. So the speed of operation is 500 MHz to 1.4 GHz. The first microprocessor is in gigahertz is Pentium 3 microprocessor. So it has 9.5 million transistors inside its chip. 9.5 million transistors, we cannot imagine. So as like cells in our skin, the transistors are looking inside the chip. Very smaller place, it has 9.5 million transistors. Next one is a familiar microprocessor, that is a Pentium 4 microprocessor. So it was released in 2000. So it is also 32-bit microprocessor. The speed of the operation is 1.3 GHz to 3.8 GHz. So this microprocessor is a very high speed microprocessor. Most of the computer is designed based on Pentium 4 microprocessor. So it has 42 million transistors inside its chip. 42 million transistors. Next one is a Pentium dual core. So the Pentium dual core is upgraded version of Pentium 4. So that is released on 2006. So it is released into processor, that is a 32-bit microprocessor or 64-bit microprocessor. So the dual core means we are having two separate core along with separate cache memory. So it can execute the instruction in parallel manner. So it increases pipelining to increase the speed of operation. Next one we are going to see the 64-bit microprocessors. 64-bit microprocessors are, that is a Core 2 Duo and i3, i5 and i7. So these are the microprocessors having 64-bit data, and it can execute in several gigahertz. The speed of the operation is just several gigahertz. This microprocessor is mainly used for high weight applications such as Photoshop, video editor, etc. So this microprocessor can execute millions of instructions per second. Okay, these are the advanced microprocessor if you are looking from 8086 microprocessors. Here I am going to show how to check your processor in your laptop. So first you have to open the my computer, then in some OS it is looking like this PC. If you are using a Windows XP or Windows 7, you right click on my computer and select properties. So in properties, that window shows the system configurations. So in that, which processors is used in your computer. See here in this computer, the processor is Intel Pentium microprocessor. So the name is N3510. So it is a 2 GHz speed. The speed of the Pentium microprocessor is 2 GHz. It has 2 GB of RAM. Then this microprocessor is 64-bit microprocessor. Okay, so this way you can check your processor in your computer. Okay, so by this session the unit 2 completed. So the unit 2 is very important unit. So by this session the unit 2 is completed. So in next session I will show what are the important questions that was asked from university examinations. Okay, so thanks for watching. Thank you.